y'all. Welcome to your Homegirl podcast, the show where we talk all things real estate and real life. I'm Katie, your homegirl in title, and each week I sit down with incredible female real estate agents and lenders to talk about how they're building businesses, balancing life, and their secrets to success. So without further ado, let's dive in. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of your Homegirl podcast with Tara Krach here. Many of you probably know her. She's just the leader of a small 75,000 community of real estate agent ladies. But she's also the founder of the Real Estate Edit, a marketing and business platform for women in real estate, a marketing strategist, creator of The Suite, which is a CRM and marketing platform. She's built, like I said, one of the largest real estate communities out there nationwide with 75,000 agents. So Tara Krach, thank you so much for joining. I'm sure that you are incredibly busy, so I am honored that you are joining me on the podcast.
Yeah, so to get started, let me kind of tell you where I started and why this whole thing kind of came about, because I think that's really important to kind of know where you've been in order to figure out where you're going, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
basically, what happened was I got into real estate
Uh-huh.
and I was shocked at the fact that, first of all, even though women take up a majority share of the industry, we actually aren't really the leaders in the industry, right? Like it's a more male dominated industry, which was surprising to me because I was like, why am I hearing from all of these leaders? Why am I hearing from all of these men? Because bottom line is, in my opinion,
Yeah.
men and women work very differently. That's not to say one is better than the other. We think and we work very, very differently. And so it was hard for me to look at these men and listen to them and then take what they were telling me to do and feel good about it. It felt
Yeah.
very inauthentic to who I was. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think that this is going to work for me. Then they started handing me the scripts, right? And they're like, "We're gonna
Yeah.
practice the scripts." And I'm like, we're gonna do what? Like, what is happening here?"
Right.
I cannot be bothered with that.
Yeah.
But I'm also a type A. I'm a Virgo. I'm an Enneagram 3. I am like all the achiever things, right? And so if you tell me that this is what I need to do to be successful, my God, I'm gonna try to do it, right?
Yeah.
So I went and I was like practicing these scripts and I was doing my cold calling. I was lead generating 4 hours every day. I was like going by the book and I was miserable. I
Yeah.
was so upset. And I just was like, why did I choose to do this? There has to be a better way. And this was all pre 2020. So being chronically online was not necessarily the place where real estate agents were hanging out, right?
Right.
So at the time, it was like, okay, how can I find support with this? Like, what do I need to do? So, what
Yeah.
I did is I kind of shifted my strategy, I shifted my thinking, and I was like, well, I have this experience doing these other things that involve online.
Yeah.
Um, can I use that somehow? How can I use that to reach my people? Because if I'm feeling this way, I know for a fact that other women are feeling this way too. I
Yeah.
had already started a little Facebook group. I think I had maybe 1,000 people in that Facebook group of real estate agents. Most were men. Um, and it was kind of like it wasn't really doing anything, right? It was just like, okay, well, here's a referral, here's this, there wasn't a whole lot of chatter happening there. And
Yeah.
I was like, I went in and I made the bold move to niche down. Tip number one, to niche way, way down. And I was like, listen, men, no shade. Um,
Yeah.
I'm kicking you out. You're gone. That was really scary because I had like 250 people left after I kicked
Yeah.
everybody, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to talk freely to my people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of how it started. And
Yeah.
as I have grown, I realize that we crave community. Like we,
Mm-hmm.
especially as women, like we just crave to have our people around us. And
Yeah.
that's really what I think helps catapult you into a different level of success. And I don't want to even say that it's monetary, even
Yeah.
though that kind of comes along with it, but
Right.
it is a different level of like fulfillment that happens when you're surrounded by the right people.
Yes. Yes. That has been such a common theme in recent conversations that I've had. And you hit the nail on the head because it is scary to pull the trigger before you feel like you're ready to
Mhm.
fire or block people out, however you want to word it, before you feel like you've reached that point. But I also don't think you reach that point without taking that step first. But it
100
feels backwards in the moment. So
absolutely.
but once you make room for more of your people, it seems to, like you said, catapult you forward from there. So I love that you found like your niche and what feels like your audience that you really are able to thrive with.
100%. Yeah. And, as real estate agents, we often are like, you want to market to as many people as possible. You want to have conversations with as many people as possible. You need to go to every networking event. You need to go to every conference. You have to do all these things. And so you're
Right.
talking to all these people. And I'm going to be so for real with you. Half the people I was like, I don't even like them. Like, I
Right.
never ever. Like, why am I doing like you said, the hardest thing to do sometimes is to step back and realize like these aren't my people and I have to free space. But that's scary because you're cutting off essentially people that you're like, well, maybe that is a lead, right? Maybe
Right.
that is
Yeah.
somebody that can help me at some point. But what
Right.
I've found is that those people that maybe aren't my people aren't going to bring me people that are my people. So why
Right.
why why am I worried about that? So
Yeah. Yeah. Waste of energy. But
Mhm.
so if an agent comes to you and they're like, okay, I know what my people are. How do I make a community of that? How do I use or leverage that community in order to start generating leads? What would your recommendation be?
100%. So, great question. There's actually two different sides to this, right? Because the past 5 years, we have been online. Everything has been online. We've been in Zoom calls. And now being on social media isn't the modern way. It's just
Hmm.
it's like the
Yeah.
standard, right? Like
Yeah.
you have to be on social media. So,
Yeah.
for me, to bring my people and build out my database, I'm going to start online. That's the first thing
Hmm.
I'm going to do. So maybe that looks like creating a Facebook group. That to me is a really easy thing to do. And find what you love to do and what you love to talk about. This doesn't even have to be real estate related, right? Like
Yeah.
right now, I'm in the depths of researching needlepoint, which is such a grandma hobby, and I love it. But I am like amazed at all of these like needlepoint things, right? Or I love reading. So maybe I start a book club, right? So you start something that you genuinely enjoy talking about that's going to attract other people that love what you are doing. Make it hyper local specific. So I'm in Charleston. I'm in the Charleston market. So I would do like a book, book lovers of Charleston or something
Hmm.
along those lines. From there, you start having those conversations, right? Like you're in other Facebook groups. People are like, oh, does anybody have a book club? I do. Hop over to the book lovers of Charleston, right?
Right.
Then from there, it's a matter of, hey, guys, a new book store is opening downtown. It looks super cute. It's Taylor Swift themed. It's super girksy. Let's head down there. Do you guys want to do a meetup? We can go get lunch beforehand and then, go check it out together.
Right.
Boom. Immediately you're taking your online activity and turning it into an offline relationship building activity. And that's a really good way to build out your database. So I think
Right.
we focus very, very heavily on real estate ready leads, which we should, right? We want buyers and sellers. But also
Right.
what happens is we kind of forget to continuously build out our database in a way that feels authentic to us. And that's a really good way to start.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have this community that you have a genuine connection with. They know you, they like you, they feel like they trust you from, interacting about a common interest of yours. What would your recommendation be to filter in the real estate side so that if and when they are interested in something real estate related, that they also connect you in that space too?
100%. So I am a huge advocate for email marketing. It is the only online marketing that I feel like you actually own. You have the most control over the
Mhm.
algorithm per se.
Right.
It also has the highest conversion rate of any types of social media or online type of things, right? So,
Mhm.
a fun little stat because I'm a data girly, right? You have a chance of maybe 2% of your audience seeing a post that you do on Facebook or Instagram. Maybe, right? You at least, if you have a healthy, engaged list, you at least have a 45 to 55% chance that somebody's going to see it in their inbox, right? So for
Huge.
me, my goal, the reason I do social media, the reason I have my Facebook groups, my goal is always to get them onto that email list. Once they
Mhm.
get on that email list, there's a whole nurture game that happens, right? So I have basically an introductory email sequence that I do automatically. This isn't me like writing out emails, right? I send them out automatically. And it really just introduces them to who I am so they knew who they're talking to. Hey, I'm Tara. I'm in Charleston. I love Diet Coke and tacos. Like, that's what you
Yes.
know about me.
Yeah.
Stick around. We have our monthly book club. This is what you can expect from me moving forward. Hey, by the way, I'm also a real estate agent. So I may send you some market updates, some new neighborhood things that are happening around town. So if that's your jam, you know, stick around, right?
Yeah.
Then from there, my emails, my newsletters aren't a surprise to them, right? Sometimes there's going to be some real estate information in there. And you would be surprised at how many replies you get back from people that are like, hey, yeah, actually, this sounds kind of cool. I was actually thinking about selling or I was thinking about buying. Like, is this something you can help me with? So that's a really good, again, easy way to get started in converting those that community into buyers and sellers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love that because I feel like, especially as women, we hate to come across salesy. So it just feels like such an organic way of connecting with people, but also putting it out there should their real estate needs come up that they know that you're their person to reach out to. So love, love, love that.
Yeah.
So so now you have someone that has built this community. They're doing really well. They're generating business. And now they're overwhelmed. They're like, I don't know how to get through my day to day. I have so much going on. Every day feels like chaos. What's your recommendation to them now?
Oh my gosh, and I actually hit this point. So fun fact about me, I have consistently generated about 100 leads a week since 2019.
Ma'am.
Not and there are some weeks where I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, I actually brought in 400, let me just say that again, 400
Hey,
leads
hey, hey.
in that week. It was bananas. So
Yeah.
the thing is, when you get to a point when you have consistency coming through, right? It's not possible to tackle all of that manually. As much as we want to, we just cannot. And
Yeah.
so that's where I love to have, I am a systems girly at heart. I want
Okay.
to free up as much time as possible. So I set a rule for myself kind of early on and I basically was like if I do it more than 3 times, I have to figure out how to delegate it or how to automate it. Those are my 2 options. If it's something that's repetitive that does not necessarily take my vision or my specific expertise, like strategy or anything like that. If it is just a task, I need to find a way to delegate it. That could be to a human, it could be to AI, or automate it. And that could be through workflows, my CRM, etc. So a lot of my nurture happens automatically at this point because I have nurture sequences for literally everything and they're automatically nurtured. And then I have my ongoing pieces that I'm creating, which is my content. And at this point, content is my lead generation, right? So now I've gotten to a point where my blog posts or when I am posting on social media, that to me is my lead gen. That is
Right.
filling my pipeline, right? So, like I don't have to do the cold calling or the door knocking or the farming or any of those things. It all is kind of happening naturally behind the scenes. Um, So for me, the next step was to, okay, figure out ways that I can nurture my leads coming in, have the touch points that are needed, because obviously you want to have some human interaction where possible and practical. So I kind of built those into my workflows. So emails are going out, text messages are going out, and then I'm getting alerts like, hey Tara, this person opened this email and they clicked this link, they may be interested in something. You may want
Right.
to shoot them a text, right?
Yeah.
So that has freed up 20 plus hours a week of work just by
Oh,
these
nice.
automations within my CRM.
Yeah. And you have something like a tool that agents can use for that, don't you?
Oh, I would love to talk about that. Uh, yeah,
Tell me more.
all the things. Again, backstory. Um, I started out basically, people were asking me these exact questions, right? Like, how did you build this? Like, how did this, like, you make it look so effortless. Like, how did this grow? And I'm like, believe it or not, it was really easy once I started implementing all of the things. The
Yeah.
hard part is continuing that momentum and not getting overwhelmed, especially because I didn't desire to have a team. That's
Yeah.
never been really, I want to stay kind of a solo agent. Again, introvert over here. I don't want to be responsible for other people all the time. So I
Yes.
started helping people figure this out. Of course, I started coaching. I have multiple courses that kind of walk you through the different strategies, some of which I've talked about today. Um, but I was piecemealing everything together, right? I'm duct taping tools together. So I'm
Yeah.
using email over here, landing pages over here. I've got my workflows here. I've got my CRM here, my database. Everything was just kind of like duct taped together. And when I was talking to people, they were kind of struggling with putting like, okay, my brokerage gave me a CRM that's kind of meh. I'm kind of
Okay.
using this email, and they're trying to put everything together and it makes it really difficult because they
Yeah.
are trying to honestly hope nothing breaks in the process. You're using Zapier and you're on a zap and a prayer at that point, right? Like
Yeah.
everything gets through. And that is when I was like, I can build something.
Yeah.
I can not only just teach you the strategy and tell you what to do, but I can build something that does it for you.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm giving you my brain inside of a CRM. And that's essentially what I built with the Real Estate Edit Suite. So it is an incredible platform. It has your CRM, your database, your pipelines. It does all of your workflows. You can send out your monthly newsletters. You have unlimited funnels, unlimited websites inside of there that are all made for you to be able to completely customize. But we've also given you templates. We've given you like workflows and things to get started. We've plugged some things already in there so
Yeah.
that as soon as you jump in, you're not starting from complete zero
Yeah.
unless you're somebody that wants to do that. So anyway, it's been a really incredible ride. We are about 8 months in. We have about 158 users as of right now, and people are loving it. So I'm having a blast with it.
Oh my gosh, amazing. I mean, I don't know what else you could ask for having all of those things in one place. Like we have everybody has so many different websites and links and it can just be like you just want to know I can go to one place and I can do all of these things and not have to remember 17 different logins and keep track of 17 different things. Like so helpful.
Yes, yes. And I found that when I built out the suite, my goal was I had a list of all of my different platforms that I was currently using, right? Like
Yeah.
everything. So I sat down, I went through like my bank statements for like 6 months and I was like, okay, like what are my monthly recurring subscriptions? What are,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I made sure that I was able to get rid of at least 10 tools, and at this point, it's way more. But
Wow.
thinking about the cost
Yeah.
saving of, like,
Yeah.
having all of that, and then for me, the biggest relief is not having to glue everything together because that's where
Yeah.
it gets really difficult, is, like, to have one thing talk to another. I know a big problem is a lot of agents use Flowdesk. I love Flowdesk, I have no issues with it at all, but to get Flowdesk to talk to your CRM is like a whole nother thing. And you're like, okay, how do I do that? So
Yeah.
it is a constant game of trying to figure out how everything is put
Works
together.
together. Yeah.
And so the fact that I no longer have to do that, again, saves me a ton of time, and I know that nothing's falling through the cracks, which is obviously a big relief.
Yeah, for sure. There is something to be said for peace of mind and things happening behind the scenes, and you know that it's happening and can be sure of it. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I knew this was going to happen. I could talk to you all day. I could pick your brain about this stuff all day. We've gone over time and I could still talk longer. So maybe we'll do a part two to this. Um, but I appreciate all of this today, Tara. I know this was going to be incredibly helpful. I will make sure that we have your website where people can find you if they want to work with you, if they want to dig into using your CRM and all the tools that you offer. So we will make sure we plug all of that. So thank you so much for letting me pick your brain today. I appreciate it.
Love it. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, of course. Hey y'all, if today's episode brought you value, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps ladies in real estate find these conversations. And if you're ready to grow your real estate business with smoother transactions and a trusted partner in your corner, shoot me a message or follow below. I'd love to be your homegirl too.